James here with the Yukon Avalanche Association Canadian Avalanche Center up in White Pass. So as you know, we were just kind of had a big avalanche cycle a couple weeks ago, lots of rain, and we've been walking around on a crusty kind of situation in White Pass. There's a real supportive crust, it's thick, it's everywhere, it goes to all elevations. The one thing we've noticed is that the temperatures have started to drop over the last couple days, and we're starting to get faceting occurring throughout the surface crust. It's getting less supportive. There's a number of laminated crusts in the top of the snowpack that are starting to facet out. So we're starting to get faceting in those crusts above and with the cold temperatures. So one thing we have been doing is trying to get an idea of different aspects. So yesterday we dug on a solar aspect, kind of in the Summit Creek area, and we found a bit of a deeper snowpack. It was about over a meter deep. But the interesting thing was it was still quite warm in the lower meter of the snowpack. It was almost isothermic and moist. So we decided to come up here today in this really cold north-facing bowl in the Alpine, because we've been talking about the potential still for avalanches in shallow Alpine areas on the basal facets that we always talk about in Yukon, these basal facets. So what we've done is we've come up here to this northern Alpine bowl. This place hardly gets any sun. And again, we found this crust. The crusts are quite strong up here still, but the one thing we did notice that's different, and we expected, is that the snowpack is not warm and moist at all like that solar aspect. There's no moisture in the snowpack. The depth though is still really big, and it's almost faceted all the way through. There's a series of crusts all the way through this column. Quite a stiff slab with a series of crusts and then facets below and above these crusts. And there's surface hoar actually in this whole bowl. North end of log cabin. So what I'm going to do here is just a quick extended column test to see if we get any reactivity on the basal facets in this classic shallow rocky area that we talk about in the Alpine. So I don't expect to get anything easy because the crust here is just so stiff. So nothing easy. We got a really stiff crust. It's about 5 centimeters thick. We'll go moderate. So 17, and we got propagation on the basal facets throughout the whole column. So again, we talk about these shallow areas in the Alpine for a reason, because we always are concerned about these areas in the winter, in the White Pass area and in the Powder Valley area and the Wheaton. It's just something we deal with all winter, and this illustrates kind of perfectly. You can see here how stiff this slab is, and it went on those facets on a kind of a moderate extended column test. So we have good propensity for propagation in these shallow areas in this slab.